All right, let's try this again. Keep getting interrupted. Okay, so this is my new Timberjack, Salsa Timberjack SLX. So only bad thing I can say about it is that you really need to get the top of the line Shimano. I think it is XT, maybe, I'm guessing, but it does skip. I mean, because I'm about 250 pounds, so it does skip, you know, when I pedal hard. And that's the only bad thing. Otherwise, it's a solid bike. I like it. I really like it. So you got the SLX. It's supposed to have a what they call a clutch, but mine broke off, so the clutch keeps it tight. It doesn't bang against. But in order to take the rear wheel off, it's going to be difficult now that broke off. I got new pedals. That's nice. So it has a good shock in the front, rock shock. This thing I put in a custom one. This is called Wolf Tooth. The one that since this is a through axle, it's not quick release. If you can jam this up pretty bad. So there's some tricks, like you have to put the hex in there and pound with the hammer to get it to come out, and then of course it's stripped at that point. And so I have to park here. And so this thing is good for mountain biking. I would like to have a bigger ring, because if I'm going downhill on the pavement, I have no torque. I can't, at the pedal nothing happens. It's just because it has only one ring and it's small. So this is pretty decent here. For a heavier gear, for a lighter gear, pretty decent. Brakes, of course, are awesome. Brakes are awesome. Tires are awesome. Seat post thing goes up and down. That's pretty cool. That's very helpful. I did buy new ones of these, so this is probably my third pair, honestly. But I got for my Trek Marlin 5. So this is like a $1,600 bike. Is it worth $1,600? I would say yes and no. I mean, I only paid $1,200 since it was a rental, and so it is, you get better equipment as it moves up. The Trek frame Marlin 5 is amazing. Like I mean, versus this, I would prefer the Trek frame, honestly. But this is a tad bit lighter and has better equipment overall, so it is a better choice. Even the posture on this is pretty good now, or I don't know exactly, but I learned how to adjust this, so that's pretty cool. And you can take those rings out. So all in all, it's a decent bike. I would recommend it. Of course, I own it. I'm gonna keep it. I would change to the XT. I want to change both this out and this out. I want to do it myself though. This requires a special tool to pull that out, and I haven't invested in that quite yet. I have enough other expensive hobbies, and I don't really have the time to. Well, I could do it. Maybe I'm just procrastinating, but I'm just putting it off. Anyway, that's something I want to do, and you have to buy, of course, a bigger front. I don't sound that smart, but front crank, as they call it. I knew it would come to me, crank. But yeah, Salsa Timberjack in orange. Very excellent bike. It does have a lockout here. It's good. I put this on so I can have a flashlight, and at night, just in case I misjudged the time, I need a better flashlight too. And I got one in the back, and you can really put this on during the day. Not that you can't really see it, but it does help. But other than that, I got my gyro helmet, my glasses, because if you're doing a ride in the evening, it's easy, sometimes it gets dark, you know, and people drive around with their brights on. So it's really good to have glasses, because then or have a helmet with a visor if you're riding at night. And which is, you know, just to get to the park, to the house really, which is, you know, obviously I'm at the park now, but park to the house, I don't really recommend riding on the streets at night, except at the park. And then you have, you know, unless you drive to the park. Long story short, you know, I ride on the sidewalks. I mean, it is a dangerous sport. I mean, you have to watch out for cars, and cars kill a lot of people. You know, not necessarily being hit by cars, but people driving cars, you know, most fatalities, auto accidents. So it is cars are dangerous. Bikes are not that dangerous. I mean, if you have a helmet on, and you know, if you fall off, obviously going 20 miles an hour, you're going to be in trouble. But this is not. Here's a biker here. He's chilling. So, okay. So, other than that, I give a thumbs up to my Timberjack. Hope you like my review, and gives it a thumbs up. I would buy it. You know, a secondhand. You know, because who wants to spend $1,600 on a bike? But I mean, it's worth it for a hardtail. I mean, if you have, it's a mid-range bike. I mean, it's worth it in the sense that, I mean, it's worth in the sense that it is. Honestly, I think that the price is a little high, but if you can find one used like I did, or a demo version. And I think you can find them for around $1,200, and I think that's a fair price for this bike. That's what I bought. That's what I purchased it at, and it's a solid bike for $1,200. It is rock solid. You know, Trek for Specialized, they have some decent stuff at $1,200 range, but it, as I recall, I don't know if the specs are the same, but they're comparable at the $1,200 price range. So, you know, I'm not putting it down, but I guess it is it's kind of a specialty brand. So you're maybe paying for a name, or maybe I'm just spoiled and I don't know how good it is. But that my only other mountain bike in modern times was a Trek, Marlin 5, and it was really good. I mean, the derailleur broke like 3 times. And then the front derailleur broke, and that's what put it out of commission. And I replaced the rear one 3 times. And then when the front one broke, that was it. I bought a new bike. I was like, that's it. But because it wasn't just a derailleur, it was the rear hub too. Like when I broke that derailleur, it pulled out the hub or somehow, and a spoke. It was like a $200 fix, and I'm like, well, I started looking for bikes at that point. And I found it, and a demo version is worth it. A demo version is worth it. And you know, especially with the coronavirus, they're not renting bikes, so they sold the whole rental fleet. And so I was lucky to get this one, because not everyone rides an XL, and the XL is large. Honestly, I mean, even for me, I could go with a large, or this is like a large XL. Like, I think even the Trek XL is smaller than this. So anyway, the point is, you know, a custom frame is the way to go. I'm reading a book that you can get custom frames and to your exact measurements, because I have long arms and short legs for my height. You know, I have a longer torso than average, so I need the long arm reach, but I need a little bit shorter leg span. So, you know, it is a custom bike in my future. I pray one day. You know, I'm sure it's expensive, but probably I will upgrade this bike. I'm not sure if I'll go to a Specialized Expert, or there's a Fuse, and then there's one called it's called a Chameleon. I don't know if it's a Kona. But that's supposed to be I think it's called Chameleon. It's supposed to be like the best hardtail in, you know, medium you know, 2,000 to 3,000. I think that's the max I would spend, even as an adult with ability to buy more. I'm not doing extreme downhill sports. I would like a rear derailleur that doesn't skip, and I like to shave off a few pounds. This is still about 31 pounds, and I would, you know, the 23, 24 pound one is, it would be very nice, very fine. But Guitar Dan signing out. Peace.